All is calm, all is bright. When all is safe, all is right. Enjoy peace of mind this holiday season with the Erie weather-ready all-wheel drive Honda CR-V. Visit us at Bianchi Honda, because together is a wonderful place to be.
Welcome back, a Tuesday edition of the Sports Blitz. That brings us to Gannon Lady Nights Coaches Show, technically on Mondays. Thanks for being flexible. Cleve Wright.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for having me.
The snow has started to fall. You never moved anywhere that didn't have snow, so you're probably all right.
Well, you shouldn't. It's funny that I should even be surprised. I mean, you expect it, but you should be expecting it. It's going to happen.
No doubt. Can't escape it. Can't escape it. So, Kutztown Saturday. First and foremost, I think oftentimes we don't give them enough credit where it's due. They have a coach who's been there quite some time, and that's not by accident. She knows what she's doing, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, 26 years. Janet's a good coach, and they have some good players. They obviously won the East last year. Started out not great, but then came on strong the rest of the year, and I think they have 95% of those kids back. But yeah, they played well.
Defense. That was it. It's all well, they made their shots, but it was predicated on defense. Is that safe?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job of challenging you when you got inside, and I didn't think that we really responded well. I don't think we responded well to that. I think our shot selection was very poor throughout the game. The best shots we took were in the fourth quarter. Most of those were nice kick-out shots. We hit more threes in the fourth quarter than we did for the game. We hit most of them in the fourth quarter, and like I said, probably can't remember how many shots we had in the fourth quarter, but I can only remember off the top of my head one, maybe two that were what I would consider not a great shot. We could have searched. I mean, that's what you should be doing on offense. Is you're hunting for good shots, and I don't think. We were very impatient hunters that first three quarters.
Quick shots
very impatient. Well, I think not only quick shots, but also like off-balance shots. Shots where you get somebody right in front of you. We're undersized, somewhat undersized in the post area anyway, and trying to shoot over people that are 3 or 4 inches taller than we are, instead of trying to get around them.
Right.
And then you're forcing, jumping away from defense, being off balance. And like I said, we could have done a better job of hunting for those shots.
They had very active hands as well, whether it was at Reynaldi or Gabby Wright. But they had 8 blocks, I think, total in the game.
Yeah, I think, and again, they're very long. They're very long. I think they have really good timing. I think their hands, they do get their hands.
That's tough. That's a tough thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah, it's not something. I don't know that it's something that you teach. I think it's something that's probably natural, comes more natural, and I think they compete. And so we hurt ourselves in the third quarter, not getting a field goal in the third quarter. I mean, you're not going to be able to win the game.
That probably hasn't happened too often.
Well, we've been doing quarters for maybe 4 years or 5 years. There may have been a stretch in a second half or a first half where you went 10 minutes without scoring, but it's rare. It doesn't happen often.
Was that a continuation of, the quick shooting, not looking for the right shot? Did they give you a different look defensively, a little of both maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we were impatient. I think our turnovers were impatient. I think our shot selection was impatient, and I think we were. I can't think of a better word. I just thought. When I watched the film, and I felt that way during the game, and I just didn't feel like we lost our energy a little bit, especially in the third quarter. And then we came out and started pressing them in the fourth quarter. I thought our energy came back, and we really looked like we were alive. Like we came alive, and really kind of ran out of time, and had the ball didn't bounce our way a few times, which we're getting our hands on something. I remember one play in particular where we're pressing and. We get in and get a tip, and it goes off the backboard right into a girl's hands, to Kutztown players' hands for a layup.
What are the odds?
And so ball didn't bounce our way, but I liked that our players, showed some heart and were trying to get back into it, and we just need to be more disciplined, more determined to get a good high percentage shot and a good shot, take a good shot, and need to grow up a little bit.
cut it down to 5 there in the fourth quarter, if my memory serves right. So, scratching, clawing, trying to stay in the game, and you did. Credit to you for that. Defensively, Torrey Obenrader was just named the PSAC West Defensive Athlete of the Week. It's tough because you lost the game, so obviously that's what sits most readily in the mind, but you also held a pretty good team to 58 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I thought defensively as a whole, I thought we did a pretty good job. Anytime you hold somebody below 60, I think it's not bad. And, it's good. Below 50 is great. And so and for us, I think we took some steps in that direction defensively that we want to go. We've got to get a little deeper with our rotation and get a little bit more discipline. I think our help. We tend to stand up and not stay in our stance enough. And but I do think we were showing help, which our help is getting there a little bit better. I think our closeouts could be better. I think we only gave up really, when I was watching it in transition, except for that fourth quarter when we were pressing, I think we gave up one transition 3 in the first half that I was disappointed in. We just got sucked in too low. The rest of the time, I thought it was pretty solid. And again, fourth quarter, we're running around trying to create some things like that. And they got a couple of layups on us in the fourth quarter. But overall, as you said, the last 2 free throws, to me was a little bit of a questionable call. I thought it was a jump ball. They called that, and so they get those 2 free throws there at the end. But
yeah, you had a kid that dove to the ground. It was kind of a tie-up. Kid dove to the ground. Was it Sidney Mitchell?
That's a different play. I'm talking about
okay.
the last 20 seconds left, and it's right in front of their bench. We got a 5-second call, which, again, I thought was a 5-second call, and then we get a tied-up ball with Haley, and I can't remember who the other one was, and they call a foul on Haley, and the jump ball arrow is to us. And it's a 5-point game. We have a timeout left. There's lots of different things that can happen there, and just didn't happen for us, and you can't change those things. I was glad that we were able to show that fight and get back and have an opportunity. So, especially after that third quarter.
But generally speaking, 58 to 50, it sounds like you took some things defensively. The team still moving in the right direction in your eyes?
Yeah, I think I think we're moving in the right direction. I think we've slowed in that teaching a little bit. We've slowed in our improvement a little bit, and I think that shows in offensively. I think we did a little bit of that same thing against Bowie State, and so we're in a little bit of a learning curve right now, and we'll get it. And we just need to keep our eyes forward, keep looking for those opportunities to get better. It's certainly what I love is it's not things that we can't do better.
Right.
It's things we can learn. It's things that we can do. And I think the one thing I thought we did against Kutztown that I thought we did was we leaned on each other a little bit better than we did at Bowie. And we're a little bit more together, I thought.
You mean maybe from like when you huddle up, stuff like that,
yeah,
everything?
Yeah,
right?
I felt like we were trying to stay on the same page better than we did against Bowie. I think we had more out of our opportunities to huddle. We had a much higher percentage in this game to try and stay together, which was good. And I think if we do that, if we can continue to do that, it will help us in the long run with our chemistry. Again, I felt like the last couple of games our chemistry offensively hasn't been as good, and although it's gotten a little bit better defensively it has. So it's kind of interesting how the ball is playing around with us.
Makes sense. So eventually you want to think with the same mind when you think back to those teams. By the way, I saw you front row center today. You were seeing off Gannon volleyball, Matt Darling, to Denver,
Absolutely.
Colorado.
That's fantastic.
You got some escorts like that away from this building, right? Or
I think we had to leave early in the morning, so I'm not sure we got an escort away, but we
'Cause
got
you
welcomed back.
all the way
which was
across the
nice.
country for.
Well, we went to Texas. Well, the 2013 was in Texas and San Antonio, and the 2010 was in St. Joe's, Missouri. So we did have flights. We had those things, and I think we flew. They're flying out of Pittsburgh. I think both times. I'm pretty sure. No, one time we flew out of Cleveland, and the other time we flew out of Buffalo.
I was just watching your face, wondering if you were recalling the days.
Well, of course. I mean, you always. When anybody gets a chance to go to Elite Eight or go to that level, it's super exciting, and it certainly brings back memories for us. Could not be happier for the volleyball program and Matt Darling and their staff. They just do a great job. Their class act, and glad to know them and wish them the best of luck. And just was happy to get a chance to give their teams high five. They were smacking my hand so hard it was stinging.
Yeah,
you
the
could tell they
volleyball
were
players,
excited. The volleyball player, and then just to shake Matt's hand and wish him best of luck.
Good stuff. He's Cleve Wright, head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights. I want to know about Goals for Life. You began to mention it last week, I think off-air to me, but Goals for Life, a big part of what I think, not to put words in your mouth, but you as a program, big part of it is, as a team, you want to go out, you want to serve the community.
Absolutely, and this is one of 3 events, kind of event/games that we're doing this year, and this is the first one. Goals for Life is a game where we're going to have Strong Vincent Middle School. Every student, almost pretty much every student, like 98% of them probably, are coming to campus all at 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. They'll come in, that's actually a day game. We played at 11:30, but the students will actually arrive on campus between 9:30 and 9:45 in the morning. And our admissions department will do programming for the 8th grade, which will be fantastic.
So it's not all sports?
No, there's an education component, and Strong Vincent Middle School is our community school that connects with Gannon, and this is all within the Erie Gaines project that we have going on at Gannon. And so then the 7th grade will work with the School of Education on a project, or on a, programming talking about grit. And which, of course, grit is perseverance and determination, the single most important ingredient into success. And
you're talking in life.
In life, exactly. And everything that you do, grit is the key component. And so there's programming with that with Janice Whiteman and the School of Education and some of her, certainly I think all of her professors, some of her School of Education students. Our wrestling team will join them. Our men's basketball team will join them. We've got some other teams that are joining in on this project, and so they'll do that, and then they'll actually perform what they call a tableau, which is a pose during the game. There'll be students on the floor, which will be really, really cool. And then the 6th grade's coming on campus and doing a leadership panel where they'll have young people, young and old, and diverse group of people that will speak to them as a leadership panel, and they'll get a chance to ask questions and things like that. That'll be in Yale Ballroom, and so they're going to be all over campus. It'll be about 900 students and teachers, and then it'll culminate in them coming to the game at 11:30. And of course, the public is welcome to the game too, and we'd love to have as many people there as possible. And of course, with those students and those teachers and hopefully Gannon staff and the public, we could have as many as 11, 12, 1,300 people there during a day game to play Wheeling Jesuit that day.
There's a real energy that the kids bring. I mean, any kids' day game I've been to, whether it's a team locally or elsewhere, they're loud, they're passionate.
Oh, they love it. They love it. As a matter of fact, on Thursday of last week, we went down and had class meetings, and so we rotated through and had 4 different meetings, and I had some of my players. They changed every meeting, and we got a chance to spend, I think we spent 20 to 25 minutes just talking in their class meetings to the 6th graders and the 7th graders and then the 8th graders and then the honors. That was the 4th group, and giving them a chance to talk about what the event's about the cheer and how important they were going to be to us, being successful in the game, and we needed them, but then also talking about life things, life lessons that we wanted, life skills that we want them to really be considering and thinking about. And then then give them a chance to know our kids and get them ask questions.
Yeah, celebrities.
So we
Your kids are celebrities.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome stuff. Sounds twofold. Sounds like everybody gets to take something from it. So when is that again? I'm sorry.
It's going to be Tuesday, December 17th.
Against Wheeling.
Mm-hmm, Wheeling, gotcha. And it's at 11:30. So that's obviously that's a game that has changed from, I think it was originally 6 p.m. and then we were able to get this project going. It moved to 12 p.m. And because of transportation, things with the buses and so forth, because we are using Erie. Actually, we're using the Erie school system buses, and then I think Metro is doing some things too to help us get. This is a project to move these kids back and forth, and so to do that, we had to move it to 11:30. So the fans out there that are available to come during the day, we would love to have you join the students and join the Gannon staff and join us for for a great late morning, early afternoon game. Bring your lunch. Bring your lunch and cheer in between bites.
That'll be a blast. That is next Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. You're taking on Wheeling, and kind of an awkward layoff until then. That's your next game.
Yeah, and that, you know what, that's been part of the thing I would say about even Kutztown is that we got one game in really a 17-day stretch, and it was Kutztown. And now you play on Saturday. Now you got another 9 days before you play again. But then there's only 2 days, and you go for your last 2 games of the first semester, where we go play Mansfield and Bloomsburg. So next week will be a really important week for us to finish up this semester strong, going into that second semester. And of course, we start off with Edinburgh on that Friday, January 3rd.
Great. Yeah, you want to get into that Wednesday, Saturday routine. That's what feels natural. He's Cleve Wright. He is the head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights. We'll see you Tuesday at the Mill. Wheeling is the opponent, 11:30 a.m., and all of Strong Vincent will be there. That sounds fun.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Coach. Back after this with Kelvin Jefferson, head coach of the Gannon Golden Knights. It's a Gannon hour of the Sports Blitz.